Hey, what's good? I reacted to a song called Mississippi Goddam by Nina Simone. I wanted to dig into that song just a little deeper, so I found a video called Mississippi Goddam, the story behind the anthem over on the Nina Simone channel. Before we get into it, remember to go to coconutjustice.com to get you some clothes that I think would look good on you. Let's go. Yeah, this is just to let you guys know. I had asked the Coconut Justice community for some songs, some protest songs, and this one was one of the first ones that people brought up. And then I checked it out and I fell in love with it, and that's something that I do if I know that I'm going to be using this song in conversation or topic of conversation. I like to follow up and do a little more research just to make sure, just to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. And this one is going to be good too, because something tells me there might be some folks in this audience that probably have never heard this song. It's a very important song, so let's get right into it.
I gotta start with just the intro alone. The name of this tune is Mississippi Goddam, and I mean every word of it. That's a statement in itself, like, excuse my French, but I know what I'm about to say, motherfucker. And I mean it, and y'all gonna listen to it.
I'm glad it's not just me saying those words.
The year was 1963, and the civil rights movement had reached a plateau. The wrath of white supremacy was rampant, and black people in cities and small towns across America, especially in the southern states, were fighting for their rights. Amongst those freedom fighters was music legend Nina Simone. At the height of her career, the singer and master pianist was confronted with a series of horrific violent events that rattled the nation. In June of 1963, 37-year-old civil rights leader Medgar Evers was assassinated in his driveway. 3 months later, in September, the black community took another devastating loss when 4 black girls were killed in the 16th Street Baptist Church bombing in Birmingham, Alabama. This sent the civil rights movement
There's some
into
folks,
overdrive.
Some folks think that behavior is okay. It's just not. And I'm glad social media is here. I'm glad we get to see in full color these things that we've been telling you. I remember in the 70s, people used to complain about this. And then when I realized that people complained about this in the 60s and the 50s and the 40s and the 30s and the 20s and the 10s, and for like 100 some odd years, 200, 400 years. And we're still fighting that fight. It's getting better. But let me tell you, we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it.
Both of these terror attacks deeply pained Simone. Full of agony, she turned to her craft to spell out her rage and started to write the words to Mississippi Goddam.
And be
It's
lucky.
an artist's duty to reflect the
Folks back then should have been lucky that it was a black woman and using her words and her music. Because it could have been different. The same way black folks, specifically black folks, have been treated. You can't tell me that black folks do not believe in God and forgiveness and go to church and all that stuff. Because the bullshit that they've been put through generation after generation, white folks have everything, and they still blow up churches, they still shoot up churches, they still shoot up schools, and they have everything. They have the control. Let me say it like that. They have the control.
times. I think Nina said to herself, I'm gonna take this pain and I'm gonna make something out of this.
This is Rhapsody, Grammy-nominated rapper and songwriter.
Just to have a song and have Goddamn in it, we're gonna start there. You gotta be very, very fearless, you know? Especially in the South, where Jesus and all the disciples live. To put Goddamn in a song, like, what did she just say? Like, that's what we're doing? Ain't no way. That's resistance in itself.
In the song, Simone captures feelings of despair and anger about the harm done to Black people in America at the hands of racism. There are no innuendos, and she addresses the government's lies head on. It was the first of its kind, in a time where honesty could have cost Simone her life. But what it almost cost her was her career, and she never fully recovered. Nina Simone was born Eunice Wayman in Tryon, North Carolina. At the age of 3, Simone began playing the piano and would continue to blossom into a prodigal child musician with big aspirations of becoming America's first famous female Black pianist and to play at Carnegie Hall. While Simone's talents as a pianist were extraordinary, her singing voice was captivating and unique.
It was imperfect, and that was the beauty in it to me. It had so much emotion in it, so much weight in it, so much depth in it. It was heavy. You know, she had the type of voice that it made your ears perk up.
She recorded her debut album, Nina Simone and Her Friends, in 1957, which featured the breakout single, I Love
That's
You
a cool album
Porgy,
cover.
and put her on the map as an international star. Moving into the 1960s, Simone gained more and more popularity, but she was starting to feel burnt out from constantly being on the road and overworked. The blossoming star began to look at what was happening in the world around her and started to instead crave more depth in her craft.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
America was steeped with segregation and racism. Black activists were organizing and fighting for their freedom as Black people were suffering from beatings and lynchings throughout the country. The events were traumatic and difficult for Nina to capture musically. Until songs like Mississippi Goddam
And people have the balls to say, we're what is it? Black exhaustion or whatever. And I keep saying this. If you are tired of the oppressed telling their stories and just complaining, imagine being the oppressed. You think you're tired of hearing it? Folks are tired of living it.
Burst out of me, I had musical problems as well. How can you take the memory of a man like Medgar Evers and reduce all that he was to 3.5 minutes and a simple tune? Simone pulled from the raw emotion she felt towards the injustice. She couldn't go out and fight, so as a musician, she did what she knew best and wrote.
I can't stand the pressure much longer. Somebody say a prayer. Alabama's got me so upset. California's made me lose my rest. Everybody knows about Mississippi Goddam.
To be as bold as she was, especially when we're talking about race relations and when it comes to Black people, you didn't necessarily feel like you had the space to say what you wanted in the way that you wanted to say it. And you have to be fearless to say and write and record and put out the things that she did.
Shortly after she wrote the song, and while the civil rights movement heightened between 1963 and 1964, she fulfilled her childhood dreams and finally played a series of performances at the prestigious Carnegie Hall. Instead of playing classical tunes as was expected, she boldly recorded a live version of Mississippi Goddam in front of a majority white crowd.
Yes, ma'am.
The name of this tune is Mississippi Goddam.
They didn't know what they were in for.
And I mean every word of it.
Regardless of the risk to her
thought it was a
career,
joke.
Simone pressured her
Putting you guys
label to
on
then
blast.
release the song as a single It was banned from southern radio stations, and boxes of broken records were sent back to Simone's home.
Yeah, because people like to do the bullying, they don't like to pay the price.
The controversy didn't stop her. Instead, it pushed her to become more radical and even more political in
Yes,
both her
ma'am.
identity and her music.
Yes, ma'am.
That same year, Simone attended the Selma March and performed Mississippi Goddam in Montgomery, Alabama, in front of leaders and activists like Martin Luther King Jr., Langston Hughes, James Baldwin, and Sidney Poitier. After the release
So
of
many big
Mississippi
names.
Goddam, Simone's work became deeply political and proudly pro-black. Simone would go on to release other famed songs in her catalog that reflected the times like Backlash Blues, Strange Fruit, Revolution, Ain't Got No, I Got Life, and To Be Young, Gifted, and Black. And while she did all this with pride, there was a profound heaviness that came along with being constantly consumed by the oppression that she faced in the world, her own life, and her career.
It's just a trouble.
Simone took on the role of speaking to the controversies of the world she lived in. But sometimes, she wished she hadn't. I think that the artists who don't get
tough
involved
job.
in preaching messages are probably happier. But you see, I have to live with Nina, and that is very difficult. It was difficult for her emotionally, but it paved the way for other artists.
And that allows us today to be just as fearless in that same way, to speak up, to be a voice for the voiceless, right? You know, back then, not let alone be an artist, but you even scared to march. You scared to do whatever. So it's reaffirming, and it allows us to say we always have to continue to speak up for each other, and we can't allow fear to hold us back.
Throughout resistance movements in America, many black activists and artists paid a huge price for their opposition of the government and abusive systems. And while Simone survived the era of Mississippi Goddam, her mind and spirit never healed. So in 1974, she moved out of her family home in Westchester, New York, left it all behind and moved to Liberia, Africa,
Damn.
to find relief and start over.
Now we're going to do the song Mississippi Goddam.
And I mean every word.
Simone leaves behind a legacy of brilliance and a catalog that documents the life and musings of a black woman who was brave enough to tell her story without fear.
Damn.
And while the song Mississippi Goddam was not widely accepted at the time that it was first released, Simone wrote a piece that still resonates today and continues to inspire.
Somebody has to continue to reflect the times and be a voice of the people. We got to get active. That's what we say today. It's time to get active.
Get active.
Nina got active.
Yes, ma'am. I am a huge Nina Simone fan. Specifically, folks that use their gifts to improve the world, to leave the world a better place. And it's funny because if you go hiking, camping, if you spend any time outside, you know, nature's church. The golden rule is leave it better than you found it. And that goes for the world. That goes for parks. That goes for trails. That goes for campgrounds. That goes for the outside. That goes for your community. That goes for your country. We need to take pride in our country and not dum-dum pride. We need to take pride in trying to have the coolest house on the block. And the fact that we are still telling stories like this and we're still dealing with the same ignorant mentality today. And this was a long time ago, and there was a long time even before this long time ago that we've been dealing with the same thing. So God bless Nina Simone. It's I'm having trouble putting my thoughts together right now because I'm trying not to be aggressive, and I'm trying not to drop a bunch of bad words right now because it's so frustrating to still constantly be bringing up the same stuff, and there's folks just don't learn. Folks just don't learn. But you know, again, social media is helping the situation because we're able to see in real time these things that are happening. You know, we don't have to wait to hear about people getting lynched in Georgia, people getting lynched in North Carolina. In 2025, there was a couple people that got lynched. In 2025, there was a couple people on the East Coast that got lynched. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it with each and every one of your friends. And if you want to come hang out with me and watch videos while I work on creative projects, hit that subscribe button. Then change the little bell icon so it says all. That way, every time I come out with something new, you'll be alerted. Don't forget to go to coconutjustice.com to get you some dope gear. And with that,